Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Matt Lateplo, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Railtown AI Technologies, Inc. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Corey Brandolini, CEO, co-founder, and director of Railtown AI Technologies, Inc., which trades on the OTC markets under the symbol RLAIF and on the CSE under the symbol RAIL. Welcome, Corey.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you everybody for joining in to hear about Railtown. It's a little early here on the West Coast, so this is the earliest presentation I've ever given, so please bear with me. So first of all, I'd like to say that what we do at Railtown and walk you through some slides, and hopefully if there's any Q&A, we'll dive in there as well. So Railtown, we're building at Railtown what we call application general intelligence for software development. And that might be a lot to chew off and understand very quickly, but as we move through the slides, it'll begin to make sense for everybody. So a couple of early points right out of the get-go. Railtown, you have a large team of senior technology leaders. We've built many large scalable and enterprise solutions over the years. We also have a strong team in capital markets experience. 100% of our intellectual property was built and developed in the West Coast here in Canada. And it's 100% our own intellectual property. We have multiple provisional patents around our AI, and we've been training our machine for multiple years as well. We have a very large expanding vertical market that we apply our AI to, and we have a large beta testing community that works with Railtown. Our application has no barrier to entry, and as I explained through the slides, that'll begin to make sense to you. We've also, because we started this process in building Railtown 3.5, 4 years ago, started to train our AI, it's given us what we consider a first mover advantage into our space. We've also are a certified Microsoft partner. We worked with Microsoft in the early days as we started to build and deploy our AI, and we've continued that relationship. We've also graduated to what's called Microsoft co-sell status, which allows Microsoft enterprise sales to sell our solution. We've also established a large Microsoft enterprise partner to act as our enterprise solution provider on the sales side. And we have battle-tested solutions now as we're going to commercialization. This is a high-margin SaaS solution business that we're in. And as Matt said in the beginning, we're listed on the CSE under the symbol RAIL, and we have just recently filed and begin to trade on the OTC. So what are we doing at Railtown? So we're developing what we call application general intelligence for software developer agents. Software developer agents have been purposely built to do a multitude of tasks that will assist and to eliminate repetitive tasks that to improve software development, increase productivity, drive down inefficiency, improve product quality, lower costs, and accelerate your engineering team and the team velocity. In the world of software, there's a ton of mundane tasks that are repetitive over and over again that are handled by manpower. Our vision at Railtown was to build an AI assistant, or an agent, as we say, that will pick up and execute a lot of these tasks on behalf of the developer, so that the engineer can spend time on productivity and developing new applications. As I said in the beginning, we're a Microsoft partner, and we have the same philosophy along with Microsoft as how they're applying artificial intelligence as a tool, as an agent, as an assistant for very specific tasks. And as you may or may not know, Microsoft is very heavily involved in that, applying artificial intelligence to their workflows like Microsoft Office, as well as their product GitHub and their GitHub Copilot product. So we're obviously big believers in the same ideology as Microsoft and how we're deploying our software, our AI, to a very specific vertical marketplace. As I said, we agree with Bill and Satya on how AI should be applied, and we're applying our same model and methodologies the way Microsoft does as well. We're fully integrated with all the Microsoft solutions, so anybody that is using a Microsoft tool in development of AI or development of software, they can apply our application directly into their tool stream. So it's an easy onboarding for our application with customers that are using Microsoft services already. So why is AI important for software development? As I mentioned in the beginning, software development is a complex process of building and deploying software and maintaining software. And about 40% of your engineering time is spent dealing with issues that arise in the application while it's running, as well as issues that arise every time you deploy a new piece of software to your application. And that number averages out around 40% of your software resources, your developer resource, is spent debugging and dealing with the technical debt that arises in the application. So for example, if you're using a Zoom stream or any application, you will have a team of developers that are working in the background to make sure that software application doesn't crash in real time, or that a bug arises in real time that causes something catastrophic like an email leak or a credit card exposure. So today, human beings are handling those tasks. There's multiple tools that help notify you about what's going on in your application, but still there's a manpower element that developers have to dive into in order to fix this issue and deal with it in real time. This is where we come into the world of AI as it applies to software development and management. And we started to build our AI to pick up that workload that handles all those issues, so human beings can stay forward on developing product while your AI agent will go up, recognize the issues, call them out, and in cases, if you choose to do, have your AI fix these issues for you. On the right-hand side, there was a research, as I talked to see, the 85 billion in GDP lost from bad code and developer time spent fixing it. It's a significant number, and that was a report written by Stripe Payment Capture, and they'd recognize this issue themselves. So this is a really, really big marketplace for us and where we apply our AI. So as I said in the beginning, we've calculated, and as most other companies we've spoken to, the number is pretty consistent. It's about 40% of your engineering productivity loss is dealing with these issues that arise that I was mentioning: problem solving, debugging, repetitive tasks, retesting your fixes, and dealing with the technical debt arises. And so we built our AI to tackle that main problem that happens to every development team. And our three core agents, as we call them, specifically deal with this. We have what's called an AI agent, an AI assistant, that you can communicate and act humanistically between your developer and your application. So you're communicating with your application almost like it's a co-worker and a partner, and the AI will speak to you about how it's feeling and how it's managing, what it's recognizing, and what's happening in the application, where it's happening in the application. And then our root cause analysis agent will suss out these issues before they arise at the end user level, and will call out the problem, and will even suggest a fix on how this issue is to be dealt with before the application happens, something bad happens within the application. And this is really groundbreaking stuff, and we're really excited as this is rolling out, and our customers are getting great response from it as well. Also, our AI will communicate, and we talk about progress reports. It'll speak to you back as your application is running real time, and tell you in very descriptive language how it's managing and how it's running. So this is something that, again, we'd started developing 3.5, 4 years ago, when we started to train our machine to get it to the point where anybody's software application now becomes a partner in your deployment and building of your software. So as I said, that one of the main pieces of our application is our AI assistant, and this is a chat interface that has an agent in it that will actually talk back to you as any questions you may have about how your application is running, and it'll respond to you and it'll bring out things that it has seen in the application, and even suggest where the fix needs to be happened. And then you can ask the system to run that fix and make that change on behalf of the application. So again, really, really groundbreaking stuff, and we've just seen some phenomenal numbers from our customers. In many cases, our customers are saying they're saving about 8 hours per dev per week in the early days of them running the application. So the results have been fantastic. So for example, from the AI assistant interface, this is what it looks like to the customer. You can ask it anything that the application is showing you, and the system will give you an answer, talk to you, let you know something about the application. And in this piece of this interface of the AI, you can ask it to create something, do something, or actually write the fix for you and go back there and make the changes on behalf of the engineer. So really, really exciting how this is rolling out for our customers. One of the other main things that we did in the early days was trained our machine to understand what something as simple as a software bug was. So it could recognize what language the bug was in, understand how it's affecting the application, where in the application this bug is arising, and specifically will point to where the code change in the application that's causing this error to arise, and therefore eliminating a long investigative period for a developer have to go through the process to try and understand what this bug is and what it's causing, what potential damage it's causing. And the other thing too that our system does, and our root cause analysis agent does, it will recognize an error that's about to happen previously for it to hit the end user. And this is really important because as it does so, it catches the error before it causes anything catastrophic. And you may have experienced yourselves using software where something's happened where the application crashes, or even things that can be even more catastrophic where a software bug will inevitably cause something as bad as credit card exposures or anything along those lines that can be very damaging to not only the end user, but to the product's brand as well. So having this agent running for you in the background at the application will save anything that could happen along the way that could cause the software to crash or anything catastrophic to cause serious financial damages to the company. And then thirdly, that the AI is there's a machine language, there's build language, a software language, and this is very much software for engineers to read and understand. What our AI does as well is it translates everything in software language into plain English, so every single stakeholder in the company can interact with the AI in order to understand what's going on with their application. It could be anybody from the marketing team, the sales teams, the senior management. Every stakeholder in the application will now be able to communicate directly to the application, so they can understand what's going on with their dev team, how their productivity is looking. Are we increasing our velocity this month? Is our engineers producing more product? So the one thing that we wanted to make sure that our AI did was provide value to every single stakeholder in the software company, from the most junior engineers all the way up to the CFO and CEO as well. So really, again, a unique function that we built into our system. How do we do it? So I think this is important as we get to understanding what separates Railtown from what you may have seen or heard around the internet today. Obviously, many people have had a chance to play with things like ChatGPT or Bard, two wonderful services that they're large language models. You may have heard that term. And these are AIs that have been trained on the wider web, if you will, everything that's available on the internet. Companies like ChatGPT and Google have trained their large language model on that. So when you ask the questions, it's scouring around Wikipedia, if you will, and thinking about a humanistic way of responding to that. What we've done at Railtown is different. Our machine is trained on what we call targeted language, meaning everybody's own individual software application becomes its own language model, if you will. So if somebody has a mobile app that they've built to sell organic candy online, their data and their intellectual machine data behind their application is the LLM, if you will, and where our AI is training on that in real time. So it's very specific to each individual company's own application. So this is data that is not available anywhere else that any other machine or LLM have access to. So we started this in the very beginning because we wanted to build this for ourselves so we could train our own machine on our own very specific data sets. And this is why we call this application general intelligence. So our machine knows the entire totality of everybody's application from its data sources. So it's a very unique model, and also that data is protected and not available anywhere else on the internet for other applications to have access to train on. So this is how, and our customers really like this too, because this also gives their data a separation, and it doesn't bleed into other sources or other machines. So it's very, very protected and walled off data that their own AI now is training on top of. I'll break that down a little bit more. So in software development, there are three main sources of data, and they're all different types of disparate type data. And the three sources are ticket data, which is the blueprint of what you're trying to build. And so if somebody's creating a ticket or a work item, it'll be the knowledge about what a task has been assigned to a developer, i.e., we need you to build this, and here's the architecture and the plan of the knowledge of what you're trying to build. So behind the ticket, there's an immense amount of data as what each software engineer is building. The next thing is, after that developer has taken on that ticket and completed his task, he's deployed that build to a server. And so once that build hits a server, that's the second layer that our AI starts learning and training from, is how that build is functioning on that server and as it's connected to the application that's running in real time. So now it's training on two different sources of data to come up with an understanding and learn from how the application is running and functioning. And finally, it trains on what's called log data or observability data, meaning how the application is going on at the production level, is how everybody's interacting with the service. And from those three different sources of data, the AI has a deep understanding of what each software application is doing and how it's supposed to be functioning. So it understands from the knowledge level of what you were trying to build, how it's being deployed and how it's functioning at the server level, and then how what's happening at the end user level through the logging data or the observability data. And so from there, the AI has to think very quickly and learn very quickly as to how your application is supposed to run and how it's run and how each developer is working within that application in order. So a very unique model, and what we've built here at Railtown. Very quickly noted here at the bottom, I thought this call is out, people important to note, is there was a report written by Goldman Sachs as how they feel AI and generative AI is going to affect the global GDP over the next dozen years. Significant numbers as we're seeing the growth, and we'll show some examples here. A couple of things to note here as we're clicking down here in time is how big is the marketplace for software developer tools? It's already a very, very big market. There is no bigger market in the world than software development. Software runs the world, as we all know. So this is a gigantic space with a large opportunity of growth and continued growth. As you see here, the global annual cost on software developer tools in 2020 was about $11 billion. Looking to rise to about $21 billion in annual cost by 2025. What's unique about this is in the world of software development, every company will use maybe half a dozen different tools to build and maintain and deploy software. So it's a really big marketplace. On the other side, what you're seeing is the growth of software AI-aided tools that are going to be applied to different software markets. And one thing to note in this market, even though you'll be seeing, well, that looks like an additional cost on top of what's going on already on the left-hand column. This is true, but what we're recognizing and are seeing is the value that the AI is bringing to the company is proving that it's actually becoming a cost positive because of the productivity gains that AI is applying to that world. So even though you might be spending X amount of dollars per month on software tools and adding AI on top of it becomes another cost, what you're actually seeing is your productivity accelerate. And that's, again, what we set out to do here at Railtown, is increase your productivity time. Therefore, you're getting that cost benefit that's saved by actually your productivity gains that the AI is providing. GitHub, a company you may or may not know of, they're a subsidiary of Microsoft. Again, is following up on that Goldman Sachs report. They've calculated that of the $7 trillion of GDP gain that AI is going to have on an effective productivity, therefore they see that about 1.5 trillion of that is going to be applied directly into the world of software tools, which is obviously where we live. Further to that, another note that I want to call out is Microsoft, a really great milestone for them on their GitHub Copilot, which is an AI tool that helps you write code at a quicker, faster, and complete your code builds at a much quicker level. They've now passed 1 million paying customers on that are using their Microsoft tool. This is really exciting for us because this is now proof in the pudding that people on a day-to-day use will pay for the value of AI at the singular level, actually right down to the one developer. So again, seeing productivity gains just at the code writing level, allowing you to write code faster, if you will. We're already seeing now a massive uptake in the consumer level of using that product. Railtown, as I said in the beginning, fully integrates with all of Microsoft developer suite of services. So it's a really easy add-on for our customers. A couple of quick comps here. I know I'm running out of time here. Obviously, what Microsoft tool sets are and where we fit. I suspect you have access to this deck. We've actually looked at Railtown very differently than Microsoft, as we've been partnered with them in the early days. If you were to think of GitHub's Copilot tool in a worldly comparative, you would think of software, a tool helping you write software is like helping somebody write music. And that would be the artist, and Railtown would act as the conductor of the orchestra, if you will, is how the application or how the song is being played, if you will. So it's a great complement for the writer, and then how the actual application needs to be running and how it's running properly and how it runs properly while people are adding more software to the application in real time. So we've carved out a very specific market space that's a complement to that world. And as I said in the very beginning of the presentation, we have a large team of software enterprise experts. We've been building and maintaining and running software for many, many years, both on the AI side and on the big application side. And we're really excited about where we are and how we've grown over the past 3.5 years. As I said in the beginning, the first part of our journey was building our machine and training our machine. It takes time for your AI to get to what we'd consider fully optimized, that a customer will pay for that and get the benefit for it, and it'll deliver the results that they're looking for. So just this last late summer, we started to go commercial in a very a beta level of bringing our customers in that are lining up to get into the application. And as we march out to our next couple of quarters, we'll be opening up our application on a fully broad level. Really exciting times for us right now. There's just this quick snapshot of the cap table, as we said in the very, very beginning, fully trading on the Canadian Stock Exchange, the CSE. As now we've filed and we've been approved now to start trading on the OTC, with our symbol being RTAI and F for foreign. So that's it. That's about 23 minutes. I know that might be a lot to chew. I would like to also note that I'm available for one-on-ones, as the OTC has provided that service for everybody here. Happy to do one-on-ones and actually give live presentations as well of the AI. I know we don't have time to do that on a conference like this, but we'll happily take meetings. And if anybody would like to see the application running in real time, we're happy to show. So I'll just dive into some questions here. So let's have a look here. So one of the questions asked is, can I discuss our sales channels and sales cycles? So as we've just started to go commercial this late summer, we've got three channels actually that we're focusing on. One is our Microsoft co-sell relationship. And so we've prepared sales documentation for the Microsoft team so they can sell our application along with the bundle services of their own solutions and products like GitHub and Azure DevOps. Also, Railtown is going direct to customers through our own digital acquisition campaigns. And again, we've also partnered up with a large enterprise Microsoft reseller who will deal with our large enterprise opportunities because they'll have the large support staff to handle the needs of a large company. So yeah, we're really excited about that. Yeah, so our product is focused on, so the question was, is your product focused on commercial software? Can it work with proprietary unique software application? Yes, and above and all. So again, being that anybody who builds software, whether it's commercial software, proprietary or otherwise, they'll be using a set of tools to build and maintain and run that application. The minute you engage Railtown with any of those tool sets, and our system is integrated with all of them, there's multiple different tools out there. The popularity of them focuses on maybe 6 or 7 that everybody uses, and our application is fully integrated with all those tools. So it's a really easy thing for anybody who's building software, from a single startup in a garage where 1 or 2 developers are working on something, all the way up to a team of 1,000 or that are working on software, and they have dev teams regionalized in all over the world. The application will run for the entire company right across. So can you discuss your business and revenue model? So we have 2 models. One, enterprise, where our system is integrated in as a complete solution along with the Microsoft products. And that'll be negotiated at the enterprise level based on the size of the contract and the size of the needs of that large enterprise customer. And the other is a straight SaaS model. So small, medium businesses can come to railtown.ai, sign up, and it's per dev, per head, per cost. So it's a really simple model. Obviously, on the enterprise side, there'll be much bigger integrations that they may need. So they'll be based on contract based, but individual companies or individual developers will be part of a SaaS model where it's 5 developers, you pay per developer per head. And finally, what is our capital position, and what are you currently revenue generating? So we just did a raise in the end of August in Canada, a little over $2 million. That will see us out for the next period of time. I would say not cash flow positive, but certainly cash flowing will get us to that level. We'll continually to spend in R&D as our AI is continually showing us new functionality. So the chances to going back to the market for a growth raise is very possible. We might be looking for something in spring to do something. And now that we're on the U.S. exchange, we do plan to do a large U.S. roadshow and start developing relationships with U.S. brokerage firms as well. So there'll definitely be opportunities to do a financing with a U.S. broker as well. We just started generating revenue, so great. Like I said, we first commercialized just this summer, and now we're starting to see the results of our campaigns that we're running from customers coming into the system. So that's the end of the question line. I thank everybody again for hearing about Railtown. As if anybody would like to set up a one-on-one meeting and actually see the AI running, we're happy to do so. So thank you, Matt and John and everybody at OTC for putting this on and inviting Railtown to present today. I hope again, it was a lot to digest, and I know, but please, if anybody has any follow-ups, they can reach out to me directly, and we're happy to, again, to do